Now this is a beautiful day. We're just beginning the butt blaster side of Runyon Canyon. I'm not going to zoom in because it's funny how you can't see it through the lens here, but that's the Griffith Observatory. It's obviously downtown. That's, I'm assuming, Beverly Hills, Century City, Westwood, and right around that corner would be, I'm blanking out. But you've got Palos Verdes, you can see that very clearly. Those are the bluffs of Palos Verdes. And well, I know that would be the Palisades. And that shiny little bit you're seeing, you can't see it so well through the lens, but that's the Pacific Ocean. And
she's making it a big deal.
We're doing Runyon.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, like I always tell you,
Exactly.
in Hollywood it's against the law to be overweight, punishable by the death penalty, you know. I'm almost there. I've been trying to lose this last bit of body fat. I'd say, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks out, which is a shame because we'll be in Belize in a couple of days. But so as per usual, hold on. As per usual, we're getting all the wonderful death threats from the Evangelical Christians from Alabama, and that's always exciting, you know. They're cussing me out on Twitter and Facebook. Well, I mean, you gotta admit, when you have a 7 million a week reach, you're gonna stir up some controversy, and you know, it's my job. But I think it's so adorable how we've got all these right-wing evangelicals from Alabama. Most of them welfare moochers. I mean, it's a red state. You know that California pays the welfare for 17 red states in this nation, and yet they've got the gall to come down on us here in Los Angeles, where you know, for instance, Al Franken, the first thing that we did when Al Franken admitted to almost touching a boobie and acting incredibly inappropriately to his castmate when they went overseas to get the troops motivated, the whole left came down hard on Al Franken. Matter of fact, the woman that was in the skit with him, she's completely accepted his apology. Al Franken, unlike Roy Moore or Donald Trump, who, it's not even the same, by the way, I'll get to that in a second. Al Franken, it appears from what the woman says, and we all believe her, and even from what Al Franken apparently admits, is he stuck his tongue down her throat when the script only wrote in for a kiss. Yeah, it's disgusting. And, you know, very bad behavior. And the photograph is him pretending to grab her breasts while she's asleep, thinking that's funny. Of course it's disgusting, and we all know it. But unlike right-wing Christians, we actually were very angered and upset by it. And, you know, we've called upon Congress to, you know, even though he did this before he was even in the Senate, to, you know, check the story out, find out what happened, make sure that he gets impeached, not thrown out of the Senate, but he should have a definite mark on what he's done. But Christians now, in America at least, they're exactly the same as a radicalized Islamic terrorists. I mean, almost every mass shooting here in America has been committed by a white Christian terrorist. And now Christians have fully endorsed sticking your adult male fingers up a little 14-year-old's prepubescent pussy. So basically, if you're a Christian now in America, you are endorsing exactly the same thing as Islamic terrorists are. You're both using your religion to commit hideous, horrible, horrific sins upon young little girls who can't fend for themselves. You're both committing acts of terror with AR-15s, I don't know, what is it, AR-15s, AR-17s, who cares? Big gun, assault rifles. So basically, Christians in America are now basically a budding version of ISIS, except that we now call it ChrISIS here, you know, ChrISIS. Yeah, that's a hashtag. So what's even grosser, and you got to admit, I mean, women in this country are pretty gross, considering the fact that, well, not black women are doing the right thing, but white women mostly voted for Trump. All the white women in Alabama, by 85%, calling themselves Christians, even though some old man digitally penetrated that poor little 14-year-old, and besides the one, we have 9 other women, or is it 11? I can't remember. It's over 9, saying that they were assaulted by Roy Moore. And what's so gross about this is that these radicalized Alabama evangelical white trash Christians, no different than ISIS, complete terrorists themselves, are saying, hey, we're okay with having a child molester, a pedophile in our midst because the Bible says it's cool. So, yeah. We always knew that men were gross. We never knew that women were grosser. Because it's not like a man really knows what it's like. Not often. I mean, gay men do. Like, I mean, obviously, all gay, good-looking guys, we've all been sexually assaulted. Just like women. If not more so. Because we put ourselves in precarious situations on purpose. Because, you know, we like sex. But women know for a fact that young women get molested all the time. So women are pretty gross compared to the men, because knowing this, knowing what it feels like, knowing they've probably been assaulted themselves, they still allow their daughters to hang out with men like Roy Moore or Donald Trump, knowing that because they're rich and powerful, and hey, maybe it's okay, maybe they're going to marry their little girls, allow these sexual perversions to take place on their virgin little daughters. So, I used to think I was a feminist. Well, I am a feminist when it comes to black women's rights, but when it comes to white women and their kids, they deserve every bad thing they get, because actually they're the ones that should have stood up for their daughters, but instead threw the little girls towards these pedophiles and child molesters, and in the name of Christ said, go ahead, fuck my daughter up the ass if that's what gets you married. You know, because in the Bible you're allowed to have anal intercourse. That doesn't count. So yeah, pretty gross. So white women who are Christians, you know better than ISIS. Look at that climb I've got. Way up. I'm about a third of the way.